Thank you, as always, for coming to this beautiful women's circle. We started in 2023 September, so it's nice, like 1.5 years now we're doing this. And thank you every time when you come. It's such a joy to see you all, and it's a very nice way of spending time together from different parts of the world. So it's a very meaningful reason why we are all here today. So every time when you come and join, there is some other divine soul that is benefiting from us. Also, we are benefiting by learning, and we are also giving a beautiful gift to some divine souls somewhere in the world. So today, all the contributions, they will be going to this organization, which I usually like to ask our speaker if they have any organization that is close to their heart that we can donate to. So Manasa suggested this organization from Art of Living. I had a look at their beautiful website. So this one is particularly in the US, and they are doing a lot of beautiful work in nurturing children in education, providing the girl children education, providing like social, like school materials. So thank you, Manasa, for suggesting this place. So it's a wonderful contribution that we are doing today. So these are all the beautiful Mother Nature pictures I received for this month from the participants. So we have a lot of sunset from different parts of the world. We have the full moon, which was just recent, like this week. And here in New Zealand, we are seeing so many shades of different colors. It's the autumn season. So many, it's quite amazing to see the different colors of orange and yellow. It's very vibrant colors. And yeah, another beautiful sunset, and a lot of sisters, growing plants at their own home in their balcony. So thank you. You're all doing gardening at your home wherever possible. So thank you for connecting with Mother Nature. This picture, like, it shows us the truth, and that we're not alone. We're all united. So it's always a blessing to connect with Mother Nature. Okay, so we've had so many different conversations, and I'm so happy today we get the chance to talk about our breath, which we're doing every single second. And are we doing it right, or are we very conscious of it? That is what we need to take a pause, and that's what we're taking a pause today, to think and reflect and work on it. Really, the breath, we know the story about the tortoise and other animals. Like the tortoise, it breathes like very slowly, and that's why they say it has a longer life, versus the other animals which may be breathing faster and their lifespan may be reduced. But the breath, such a simple thing maybe, but it truly changes the quality of our life. And I'm sure Manasa is going to tell us much more from different perspectives. So a bit of bio, you might have read about it. I sent it in our group. So it's so nice. Manasa she's a technologist person, but she's got the spirituality embedded in her life so beautifully. So that is why she's very special. I feel that she's the best of both the worlds. And yes, Manasa, you can introduce more about yourself, and you can take us further on this journey. We're very excited and very fortunate to learn from you. Thank you so much. How do I know her? She's my Amrita alumni, and I don't know, we just connected. I don't see her in college or anything, but through some professor, and somehow, and then it just happened. So thank you, Didi. I call her actually Didi here. I'm saying Manasa, but I call her as Didi for me. So thank you, Didi, for coming and saying yes. We're very excited to hear from you.
Thank you, Raji. That's a very lovely introduction. Yeah, I know Raji as one of my juniors from my undergrad. I do know a lot of people during my undergrad. I don't know, I used to be this person. I love interacting with people, and I somehow, she's one of those few people I still remember from my undergrad, and few conversations, but yeah, they were always like nice, and she was this like nice, cheerful little girl, very quiet though, that I would say. She was very quiet, but yeah, she used to always have this nice smile on her, and like that's how I remember her. And I think I reconnected back with her a couple of years ago. I made a trip to New Zealand, and I was checking on my I think my Facebook who's there in New Zealand. I saw her, and I was like, oh my god, she's now staying in New Zealand. And I think yeah, we connected talking about New Zealand, other things, and then she told me about like she doing like a regular monthly program for her. She runs this women's circle, and then I was like very intrigued by it. I don't respond much on the group, but I keep seeing all of the monthly posters that keep coming in. And great work, Raji. This is like you're doing like a lot of service to the society. You're busy with your job, with your young kid, and all of that, and still you take so much time. This is inspiring for us. I was like, it was a very hard week for me, and yesterday I was like on the verge of like calling you and saying, oh my god, I don't know if I can make it to today's session. But like last night I was like, no, 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 whatever happens, I should be here. Like I can't be more busy than she is, so I should come. I shouldn't bail out in the last minute. Like, so yeah. But a little introduction about myself. My name is Manasa, and I'm a product manager at Apple. And I pretty much work on a bunch of wearable products out there. But what drives me more than technology is my connection to myself, my firm belief in spirituality. And it's like, it's like there's no deeper meaning to me in my life than how I feel connected to this universe. That's a very I feel like that's one true thing that will always stay with you. There's a very beautiful saying from Adi Shankaracharya, when we always talk about like, I am seeing this, I believe in this, I don't believe in this, I like this, and all of that. And then and during one of the conversations with a student, Adi Shankaracharya is like, he's like, but who's this I? Like, whom are you talking about? And that always like resonates with me. Like there is a very integral part of us, and we're all like, we're all this tiny bit of this universe. Like, and we're all one. Everybody is the same, everybody is one, we are the same. So it always helps me reconnect and regroup with myself. So apart from my job, I also happen to be a certified breathwork and meditation teacher. I teach with Art of Living Foundation. And more than being a teacher, I've been a volunteer for several years. I take a lot of joy in that. It's very beautiful to see people when you bring smile on people's face. I think there's no other beautiful gift than that. It's like, be to a parent, be to a child, be to anybody. Just it's a very, very fulfilling experience when you can help somebody in whatever tiny so which manner you can help. So, and oops, sorry, I muted myself. When I am not probably doing work, another thing I like doing a lot is like listening to news and stuff like that. I'm a avid political, amateur political, I don't know, what do you call, like a citizen journalist kind of person. I love politics, so I thrive on it, and it gives me a lot of motivation to know what's happening in the world, and keeps me connected very much to everything that's happening around me. So yeah, that's me out there. And what are we going to do today? So today, what I'm going to do is I want to talk a little bit more about breath. Like how Raji was saying, this is something that we have been doing all our life. And how much awareness do we actually have towards our breathing? And more importantly than that, why is breath important? Like, it is like, yeah, we breathe and we are there. As long as we breathe, we are alive. As long as our heart is beating, we are alive. But then to everything else in our life, we pay so much more attention, because if something is not, if your heart is not functioning well, there's some test that will tell you. If there's a pain in your leg, there's something that will probably tell you that something is happening. And like, it's just more physically more evident. But the same is not true about our breath. And so it's very good for us to understand what in what aspect breath can be useful to us in our life. It's a very, very good tool, and it's one of those things that we can use to our advantage. So that's what I would like to talk about today. And if there is time, if you're not running too late, then probably I can lead through a small guided meditation, like a 10-minute meditation. So usually we always say that, like, um, as a spiritual practitioner, you go from like a very gross to subtle. So your gross is like you do some yoga, you're doing some exercise or something like that. Yoga is not exercise, so probably you're doing some exercise, then you're settling down with some yoga, then you do some breathing practices, and finally you settle down into meditation. Because the final when the best state, connected state of your mind that you feel with the universe is like when you're meditating. And all of these, each of these layers as you're going through, it helps you ground even more, and it just makes you more connected to yourself, so that you can settle down in meditation, and like in the middle of the meditation you don't have to think about, oh my, I feel like a itch in my leg, or like, there's some random thought that is coming in, one of those things, which is fairly common. So it just helps us like, settle even more deeper. So with that being said, Raji, do we get started with some very light
Yes.
Okay, so Raji said stretches. I'm going to make a small change there. So I know we all sit a lot of times, but this is going to be something which we call as desktop yoga. It's going to be very subtle and very easy to do, but it's also very effective. Um, we call it desktop yoga because this is mostly meant for like engineers who are sitting and have like a desk job. They say sitting is the new smoking. So a lot of times we are not in a place where you can get up and do something, so you can do like small little exercises that will help us, like, disconnect from work for a few minutes, and then we get reconnected back again. I will give instructions. I'll give verbal instructions. They're going to be very simple to do. If you're comfortable, you can keep your eyes closed. If not, you can open your eyes when you want to open. Otherwise, you can keep it closed. When you're keeping your eyes closed, it helps with only one very simple thing. Your attention from everything that is external, it shuts down, and your focus is going to be within yourself. And the answer to everything in this world is within ourselves. There's nothing external to us. Everything is only internal to us. So that's why we keep our eyes closed. Okay? All right. So keeping our eyes closed, we can whichever is the dominant hand. In my case, my dominant hand is my right hand. So I'm going to gently take my right hand and place the palm of the right hand at the center of my head. Be very gentle. We do have a chakra in here, so you don't want to press it very hard. You're just going to very gently in clockwise direction do a massage for your head. After a couple of rounds, we can relax and then do some massaging for our forehead. So using both our left hand and right hand, we can just gently bring all our fingers together, and we can press our forehead very gently. So we can start from the center of the forehead and then go towards our temples. This is one place where we accumulate a lot of stress in our body. Usually, whenever we are angry or whenever we are disappointed with something, like when we frown, what happens? Our forehead becomes tinier. So, this is one place where there's a lot of impact that is there from our body. Now, from the side, we can go from our temples, we can come down to our cheeks. So, just using our fingers, we can go down our cheeks and start massaging our entire jawline. You can go up and down. As you're doing it, be aware of every single motion that is happening on your face. Next, as we are coming, as we are exercising our jawline, we can, as we're coming down, we can open our wide mouth, our mouth wide open and close it. You can do that a few times. Now we can go back to our eyes. We can gently pinch our eyebrows from the center to the side. Now using our index fingers, we can gently slide down the side of our nose. And we can relax our hands. Now let's open our eyes and we can do one exercise with our eyes open. So we can open our eyes wide open and we can also open our hands and we can open our mouth, like you'll feel like a lion. And then we can close. And one last exercise that we'll be doing with our eyes is to blink our eyes. We can blink our eyes very quickly, looking away from our screen and probably looking forward to the anything in the front, and we can quickly blink our eyes. Like we can do it for like 20 seconds. And we can stop, keeping our eyes closed. Let's take our attention inward. Gently notice how your state of mind is. Taking a nice long deep breath in. Breathing out. Taking another long deep breath in. And letting go. When you feel complete, you may gently open your eyes. So this is like a very, very small, gentle yoga. We call it Sukshma yoga. It's just like you're doing yoga with a lot of awareness and without a lot of body movement. And it's very relaxing to our entire nervous system. It's pretty much any form of yoga that we do, not the stunts kind of yoga, normal traditional form of yoga we do. It's supposed to be calming to our nervous system. So with that being said, now that our mind is a little more calmer than we have been before, we can dive into our topic of discussion. So let me start with a small story here. So there was once a professor who wanted to cross across the Kaveri river, and he goes to this boatman. He comes and asks, he's like, "Hey boatman, I need to cross this river. Will you take me across?" The boatman is like, "Huh." And they talk some money that they want to exchange for this, and then they both start going in the boat. Now this very intelligent professor, after sitting 5 minutes in the boat, then he asked the boatman. He's like, "Hey boatman, do you know anything about like the physics? Like you're running the boat and like you're going across the river. Do you understand physics? Do you understand what buoyancy means? Do you understand like what the waves do? Blah 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 thing." And the boatman is completely lost. He's like, "No sir, I don't understand all of this." He's like, "I only know how to take the boat from one side to the other side, and that's all it is." And then the professor is like, oh, really? He's like, 25% of your life is waste. You don't understand the concept behind what you're doing. And then the boatman and the professor sit. After another 5 more minutes, now the boatman asks, now the physicist is again like, professor is asking the boatman, "Do you understand money?" He's like, "I'm giving you this money. What are you going to do with it? Like, how are you going to invest your money? Where are you going to put it? Are you going to put it into like some investment banks? Are you just going to put it in your saving funds? What are you going to do with it? Like, how do you think your money is going to grow?" The boatman is like, he's like, "No, I don't do anything. I go home, I put my money under the pillow. When I want, I'll spend my money. Otherwise, my money is staying under the pillow in my home." Now the professor is even more shocked and he's like 50% of your life is waste. He's like, what is this? You don't even understand like basics of what you need to do with the money." And then now they carry on with the boat journey. And then now the professor, after another 5 more minutes, the professor is now talking about, do you know what is happening in the country? Do you understand what's happening in, like, there is like so much of change in your state? Do you understand what's happening in the politics? Who's going to become the new chief minister in your state? And like, there's upcoming elections. This guy is like, he's like, "No, why do I care?" He's like, "I don't go and vote in elections and all. I don't know." Now the professor is like, he's like, 75% of your life is waste. You don't even know what you're living for. You don't know who's running your government, whom you're going to go complain for if you're unhappy. It's like, what life is this? Now they go on for a couple of more minutes. Now this time the boatman asks the professor a question. The boatman now asks, "Professor, do you know how to swim?" The professor is like, "No, no, no, I don't know swimming. I don't care about swimming. Why does it matter? I like spent my time in learning this thing, that thing, and blah, 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 and all of that. And then I don't have time to waste on like the silly things like swimming." The boatman then says, "There's a hole in the boat. The boat is going to sink. I am going to jump into the water and I'm going to go to the other side." He's like, "Good luck to you. You can do whatever you want." And with that, the boatman now tells the professor, 100% of your life is waste. In spite of you knowing everything, you don't know how to save your life. What's the moral of this story? Why am I telling this story? Because we are like that professor in our life. We learn a lot of skills. There are a lot of skills we are learning in our school. There are skills that our parents are teaching at home. There are skills that we learn from friends. There are hobbies that we pick up from everybody. But with all of that done and said, there is one thing that probably a lot of people on this planet don't know, and that is managing our mind. With everything that is happening around us, it impacts us in many ways. There is like stress that comes into our life. There are a lot of negative emotions that come in. If there are positive emotions, great. But a lot of times from things that happen around us, we pick up the negative emotions, and they may not be even be useful. There might not be even things that are directly connected to us in our everyday life. Like, I get stressed about like who's going to become India's next prime minister or something like that. Political stuff, things that will impact my life, but I'm not directly connected to it. Nobody I know is going to become prime minister of India anytime soon. So, but these are world impacts, world events that happen in our life, because of which we are there are a lot of things that generate negative emotions in our life. Our kids are going to school, we are concerned about them. We are concerned about our job. We are concerned about our parents. We have become like those multitasking people, and that's pretty much everybody today. It's just not me, or it's just not you. Everybody around us, if you ask anybody, "How are you?" what do you hear? "I am busy." That has become the most common answer. No one tells "I'm happy," or "I am I am doing well." "I am busy" is not an answer to "how are you." So it's just just it's like we have all become those people in our lives. But in such so many skills that we have learned in our life, the most important things that we forgot to learn is understanding our mind. And why is this important? Because where are we going to feel like, where do we feel happy? Where do we feel the stress? Where do we feel all the negative emotions? It's all because it is all like existing in our mind. And somewhere from that mind, it eventually transfers to our physical body. When the stress becomes more, we feel a lot of physical ailments in our body, and we start feeling sick. You sometimes they are like they come as in forms of like diseases. Sometimes it's just short term sickness. It becomes like there are changes that we notice in our body. So this is why like managing our mind becomes very very critical. And it is in this context that I want to talk about breath. Now, why is mind and breath connected? So mind and breath, they have a very very small simple connection. If mind is like a kite, the breath is like the string which is connecting that kite. So how your mind is behaving can be controlled through your breath. If any of you have noticed, like when you're feeling, let's say if you're feeling a lot of anxiety or a lot of panic, how do you breathe? You can unmute and answer.
A little bit faster and the heart rate is beating faster. Yeah. Then
Yeah, yeah. When you feel the anxiety, your breath becomes like that. Like it becomes very fast, and like you're trying to do. What happens when you're like sick? Have you noticed our breath pattern when we are like you're probably like like you're having a lot of fever or something like that. You're not feeling well. You hurt yourself or something like that. Usually, what happens then is your out breath is longer. Like you sigh. You say hmm. And why we do that? Because it gives us relief from inside. When we do that breath, it gives us relief and we feel like that instantaneously. It makes us feel good. And what happens? How is our breath when we are happy? Most of us don't even notice when we are happy, right? We don't know how we breathe, and it just goes by. There's like we just to give an example of how like analogy for the breath. We consume about 4.5 pounds. Normal person consumes about 4.5 pounds food on a daily basis. We drink about a gallon of water. And do you know how much we breathe? We breathe about 3.5 cubic meters of air. That is the size of a minivan. That much air we are breathing in one day. And that's a lot of breath. And our breath is one of those beautiful tools through which almost 90% of toxics from our body, they get expelled from our body. So it's like it's very very it's a very replenishing thing. Like you always say when like somebody is anxious or something, you would have heard they say, oh, take nice long deep breaths, and then instantaneously we feel relieved, right? It's also a source of nutrition to our body. It's like it's one of those things that has never been taught to us like anywhere in our school or like in college. No one teaches this. So breath is important because breath now has the ability to like reduce the toxins in your body, and breath is also the tool through which you can control your mind, through which you can control your emotions. Just a minute ago I was talking about how your breath pattern is when you're experiencing a lot of different emotions, but it's like a two-way street. If you're feeling a certain emotion, your breath pattern is a particular kind. So by fixing your breath, now you can fix your state of mind also. Let's say you realize that you're very angry on something. You probably had a bad argument with your boss, or your kid tells you that you do not know understand anything. You have like a preteen or a teenager kid who doesn't understand. You have a toddler who feels like their day has ruined because you've given them the wrong bottle color. But whatever it is, like small things, they like they upset us, they make us angry. But like when you have seen that your breath pattern changes in one way, then because of the emotion that you're experiencing, so you use the same, like you change your, you consciously start breathing differently so that you can fix your state of mind with that. So that's why breath is like one of those important things in our life. Now that we have spoken so much about breath, would you all want to experience a breathing pattern? Okay, so now what we are going to do today, it's a this is called a yogic breath. It's like taking a nice long deep breath, I'll show you how to do the breathing pattern. Maybe for the first minute or so, we can keep our eyes open. When you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Excuse me. And after a couple of breaths, I will lead you through a guided meditation. So, through the guided meditation, you can keep your eyes closed. At any point of time, if you feel like you've not heard an instruction, you don't know what was the previous instruction, just go back to wherever, whatever you remember. And the guidelines for the meditation is going to be very simple. Like, this, I'm just giving an example. If I, during the meditation, if I tell, like, bring your awareness to an apple, you just gently think about an apple. You're not going to, when you say apple, something comes into your mind, right? That's it. And you stop with that. You're not going to think, was the apple coming from California? Is it coming from Kashmir? Is it red? Is it green? How big the apple is? How much it is weighing? No, you're not doing an analysis on the apple here. Just very simply, when you say think about an apple, some thought comes and you just leave it there. After that, you let it go. We're not going to dwell on any thoughts. And if something comes to your mind, and if you become conscious that you're thinking about a thought, just gently drop it. It will go by itself. Thoughts are very common during meditation. The only thing that we want to do during the small meditation is we are going to keep our eyes closed, and we're not going to talk during the meditation. If you did not hear an instruction or something like that, you don't come and ask a question, oh, I did not hear this. So we just listen. And at the end of the meditation, we will talk a little bit more. All right, place one hand on our chest and the second hand on our stomach. And yogic breath means you're just going to take a very nice, long, deep breath. So we're just going to go close our eyes. And then as we are breathing, we want to make sure that your stomach is going out and so is your chest. Your stomach would go a little more outside than your chest normally does. And that's a right way of breathing. So when we exhale, our stomach goes in, and when we inhale, our stomach usually supposed to be going out. It's expanding. So inhalation is expansion and exhalation is contraction. So that's how it is. So nice long deep breaths. The reason I'm asking you to put your hand is because you will be able to feel, and try making it as long as it is possible and it is comfortable for you. This is not a competition, so it's just like you're trying to do this only for yourself. There's no there's no particular thing that you need to breathe in for 30 seconds or anything like that. No rule. As long as you're able to breathe in and as long as you're able to breathe out, that's fine. As you're doing it, you will realize that it will become better and better in the next few times that you're doing it. So that being said, we can do this. So I'm going to close my eyes. So just breathing in, nice long deep breath. And as you can gently breathe out. You breathe out from your stomach and then you breathe out from your lungs. The same thing as you're breathing in. Your stomach expands first, then your lungs and chest. And you're breathing out in the reverse direction. As you breathe out this time, you may gently place your hands on your lap and your palms can face the ceiling. Keeping your eyes closed, take a normal breath in and let go. Taking another breath in and breathing out. Become aware of the noises in your environment. It can be the noise that's coming from your fan or your AC, maybe people speaking at your home, traffic on the road. Become aware of any noises that you're having in your environment. Accept all the noises as they are. You are now in harmony with your environment. Take another breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your physical body. Your body is a precious gift to you from nature. Love and respect your body dearly. Become aware of your feet, legs, abdomen, stomach, chest, arms, head, your entire body. You're in harmony with your body now. Become aware of your thoughts, be it good thoughts or bad thoughts. Do not resist your thoughts. Let them come. You are now in harmony with your thoughts. Become aware of your emotions. You are peace and joy. Become aware of your emotions. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of the sensations in your body. Become aware of your environment. Take a breath in and let go. Taking another breath in and breathing out. When you feel complete, you may gently open your eyes. How are all of you doing now?
I loved it. Uh, it was I'm even struggling to say because it's a very nice emotion. It's a feeling. It's a very blissful feeling, and I love how you took us like from the environment to the body to the thought, emotion, and you seeded like I am peace. I think you seeded some positive words, and then you took us back out. So it's a beautiful feeling, and it needs these conscious efforts for us every day to do this so that the remaining 23 hours is much more meaningful is what you have reinforced in me. Thank you, Didi.
How's your mind feeling?
Very calm and clear, I feel. um, yeah, quiet.
Having thoughts during our meditation is very common. On that, a lot of people say that, like, meditation is focus. I always say meditation is the byproduct of focus, is the byproduct of meditation. During meditation, you just let go everything and you're just there. Just like, you're just merging with the universe there. Like 20 minutes of meditation, like, some breathing, some meditation are in every day in our life. And like Raji was saying, for the other rest of the hours that we are active and like we are contributing, our mind is very calm, composed, clear. You're not impacted by, like, how somebody else is treating us or anything like that. When you're centered, most likely people around us will also feel that, and usually kids feel that very soon. They like, or even if you have pet animals at home, they also, like, they feel very attracted to the silent and the calmness. It's like, it spreads around us. Like I always say, if you're positive, negativity doesn't stay around you. It cannot stay. It's like the room is dark only as long as like there is not the first ray of the sunlight. Once the light comes, the darkness vanishes. It cannot stay. And that bright and the sunshine in our life is us. We bring that to the world. As long as we are calm, centered, and we make our decisions from our life from that space, everything will be like, you're not going to be reactive to a situation. You're responding to whatever it is, like at work, at home, with our family. And when you're calm and like you're 100% there, you're giving it all. Like when you're at work, you're at work. When you're with your family, you're with your family. You're not torn apart. Like, it's like you're going to work and thinking about your family, or you're at with family and thinking about what that doesn't happen. It's just like, it comes with practice, but it's like, once it starts becoming like an everyday part of our life, like it's a beautiful experience. So, yep.
Be strong within, then we are easy to support whoever comes our way. So thank you. We'll end with the peace prayer. Like may all beings be peaceful and happy. Peace, peace, peace to all of you. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time.